Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Grand Tactician, the Civil War, playing the Confederate campaign in 1862. This is version 0.75 of the game. If you didn't see the first two episodes, there's a link in the description below that will take you back to the beginning. I do have a couple of patron units to get caught up on, which I do at the beginning of every episode. And first, a big shout out to Alan Hand, who is our latest supporter. And Alan actually served in the 2nd Battalion, 504th Parachute Infantry Regiment of the 82nd Airborne Division, which is fantastic. And Alan, I already told you this personally, but just in front of everyone, I want to say thank you for your service, especially your service in such a prestigious and well-known unit. For those who maybe aren't from the United States or maybe aren't familiar with our history, the 82nd Airborne and 101st Airborne are two of our most well-known units, and to this day, they're kind of the first ones we call for when we need somebody to go somewhere fast. So he requested that we go ahead and make the 2504 with yellow pants and blue jackets. Those were the unit crest colors. He said they were the Devil in Baggy Pants Regiment. They got that nickname at Anzio in Italy from a dead German diary entry. And he requested that they be Georgians and in the Army of Tennessee. He said his great-great-great-grandfather was a color bearer under Braxton Bragg, which is really cool. So absolutely, Alan, I'm glad to do that for you. All right, it doesn't allow you to put the slashes, so I just put 2nd Battalion, 504th PIR. Hopefully that's good. And we did rename the Army of East Tennessee as the Army of Tennessee. And we're going to be adding additional units to that unit eventually because I think we're probably going to need them. We've got 17,000 men there now, but with Grant heading that direction over here in Tennessee, I have a feeling, you can see here, there's Morgan's command. The Army of Tennessee is actually headed all the way up toward Ohio. I don't know where Grant's going, but he's basically leaving the West wide open for me. Another update I wanted to make, we got Colonel Joseph Shelby in command of his brigade, the Shelby Iron Brigade, and actually he's got really good stats for a guy that was really far down the list as far as Missouri commanders go. As you can see here, he took part in Bleeding Kansas struggle and led a company of border ruffians. So he's got some experience from that. He's a volunteer, but he's got some nice stats. So that's going to be a nice unit for him. And I did get those units all upgraded with the Sharps rifles. Not all of them, but at least the patron units are updated with those. All right, last two, we're going to add Mills Brigade also to the Army of Tennessee, as well as Nelson's Redcoats. We're going to have to do better in 6-pounder field guns, though. We're going to give you 12-pounder Napoleons, which already have a nice standardization number of 3. So that makes them cheaper to maintain, cheaper to equip. And that's going to give the Army of Tennessee a nice almost 21,000 men. We're going to need to get some more artillery, though, I think. How many guns do we have total? It's saying 11 guns here, but that's not right because we know we've got 20 here. It's really strange. There we go. 23 for Nelson's Redcoats, 20 for them. Okay, well, regardless, we know what it really is. All right, we're getting ready to finish taking Fort Henry, which we're going to rename and fix because right now it's showing Fort Hyman. Once we take that, there it is. We'll go ahead and get that renamed. We're also going to need to get some additional garrison men in there. So first of all, Fort Henry, and then what we're going to do is I'm actually going to transfer some units from my other armies, specifically the Army of Mississippi, because we've got a pretty good sized force in the Army of Mississippi now. So we're not going to take any of the units that we want to see in the field, but how about somebody like Wood with 1,800 men? Let's go ahead and put him in Fort Henry. I'm actually going to leave 2 brigades there, and then I'm going to put an additional 2 in Fort Donelson. So that might actually mean that we're going to probably... No, I think we'll keep that number of divisions for now. We'll just take a few brigades from Johnston to put in Fort Donelson. There we go. So that'll beef both of them up. It's going to take a couple of days for those troops to arrive there, but I think now we are ready to turn our attention to Nashville. At the moment, I have the 1st and 2nd Corps both set to defensive, so they wouldn't attack yet until we finish taking out Forts Henry and Donaldson. But now that we switch to offensive, we're very quickly going to get into combat, and we've got a pretty nice advantage on the Army of the Ohio, so this might be an opportunity to just crush Buell's army. I really hope we can draw him back west, because I don't want the Army of Tennessee joining the other armies in the east, because that's going to be a lot of manpower that the Army of the Potomac is going to be able to bring against me. And Jackson's Corps is still retreating, all because we withdrew from Winchester. I got to get back up there. Where did I send Longstreet? I'm not entirely sure why I sent Longstreet all the way over there. But let's go ahead and get him back over toward Winchester. All right, 3rd Corps Army of Mississippi is in contact with the Army of the Ohio. Let's go ahead and fight this battle. We should have, assuming that our reinforcements arrive, we should have a pretty substantial advantage here. Okay, so we just have the 16,000 men right now. Obviously, there are more that will be coming. We're still waiting on additional units to even reinforce this corps. But the other thing I want to look at here is right here in the Consolidated Condition Report. I wanted to see how long until they arrive. It's only 2 hours until the 2nd Corps arrives. So we're going to get some pretty substantial boosts in numbers. There's really no reason to press things too much. We're fighting on the Murfreesboro, the Stones River battlefield. And I think he's up here somewhere. So we're going to be able to consolidate our 2 corps pretty quickly. I'll probably pretty much sit tight with Breckinridge's 3rd Corps until the 2nd Corps arrives on the field. All right, it's 7:30, and I think we should be seeing, yep, right on time. Here comes the lead elements of the 2nd Corps, just as we start to actually make contact with the enemy. So we're going to go ahead and slow down here. I'm trying to get my units into line. Some of my divisions, of course, don't have all the reinforcements yet. In fact, at least one division only has 1 brigade right now. So we're certainly working with a limited amount. But let's see what Johnston now has on the battlefield. Looks like about 28,000 men. So I've got Nathan Bedford Forrest heading up this way. Actually, he's already there. That's his division commander coming up. We're going to pull him back now because we've spotted the enemy. There's really no need for my men, who I haven't upgraded their weapons yet. They've still got shotguns. There's no need for them to be endangering themselves with not much to fight back with. We got to get the artillery moved up, though. Okay, so we're going to send the 2nd Corps up here, battle line about right here. I think he's pulled back. Oh, now he's starting to advance. I just sent Forrest back up to kind of recon the area a little bit, so you can see now that he's coming back. So we're going to build our line right along the Wilkinson Turnpike. We've got artillery back here. I need to move some of it up. These are 3-inch ordnance rifles, so that's rifled artillery. Some of these are still just 6-pounder field guns. In fact, all 3 of those are. We've really got to get these guys upgraded. That is not going to fly over the course of a campaign. So while we get them into place, our 2nd Corps is moving it up behind, and I'm guessing he probably has no idea that they're there. I mean, I know he knows they've arrived on the field, but that's about it. Let's go ahead and send some skirmishers out. I'll give that order at the corps level so that everybody does. We've got these woods and a hill, so he's actually got pretty favorable ground that he'll be attacking through. Maybe it wasn't the best place for me to build my battle line. So our artillery's engaging. I'm waiting to see the 2nd Corps finish getting into position before I issue their next orders, because we're going to try to get them across, and we're just going to hold tight right here with the 3rd Corps, and we're going to let Joe Johnston bring his corps around, see if we can't surprise these guys on their right flank, especially if he's not going to attack. Okay, we'll get Withers' division up first. Oh, here he comes. Okay, so he is going to attack. It looks like he's going to attack with everybody. So let me slow things down. We'll start bringing our infantry infantry. Oh, that's our artillery. Let's get them right up here on this hill. All right. Here we go. Gotta slow down time a little bit. That's a massive assault coming by the Union. You don't see him do that too often on this game. So this is Breckenridge's detachment. These are the 1st Montero rifles out here on my right flank. Are these guys not able to fire? They're not. Okay, we're gonna have to get them moved over so they've got a spot to fire. Alright, they've lost 33 men. We gotta just keep an eye out on my skirmishers. Dance's division. Let's bring him up here and get him across with this cavalry. So he's going to slam into my right flank. I did issue orders at the corps level for everybody to fire long range. Back in. He's trying to get out on my flank here. Oh, Garfield. Future President James Garfield. A couple of my ancestors served under him in the 22nd Kentucky. They were part of his brigade. Let's get Ruggles going here. Gotta get everybody across. We just have to hang on while he slams into my right flank. Now he's got skirmishers out. Alright, Montero rifles. You get the job of being the 20th Maine in this case. You're the one that's got to hold on the flank at all costs, no matter what. So good. These guys here, this is the French Zouaves next to them. They're in the same division together. Alright, nice job, Montero rifles. Drive those skirmishers back. Garfield is definitely getting on my flank, though. And I don't have any reserves. Boy, he's going to kill me over here. I'm going to have to pull the Montero rifles back. It's only 6-pounders. We're going to hope they can do their best here. Alright, we got to get this flank attack across. That's actually a really good attack by the Union. He hit me on my flank, and it looks like the Montero rifles are going to break. Oh no, they're okay. But they're not going to go where I asked them to. I want you right here, guys. I'm going to charge into this battery. A lot of these batteries aren't firing at the moment. How the skirmishers doing over here? Pretty good. Claiborne's detachment. This is Little's detachment. That's the Rock City Guards over here. Their skirmishers are out front. What do we have here? Bowen's brigade. Mixed muskets, so not the ideal weaponry. Actually, you can just stay right there when you cross. Alright, just keep hanging on, guys. Keep hanging on. See what the numbers look like. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. See, he's only got 20 guns and I've got 95, so that makes a big difference. Let's move these guys up to here. A lot of my artillery is still not firing because I just don't have them in good position where they've got proper line of sight to be able to fire. No. Don't change your formation. Claiborne's losing men. Okay. So let's do this. Let's pull everybody's skirmishers back. Let him hit my main line if he wants to. French Zouaves. Let me pause for a second because we've got some perks available here. We're going to give the French Zouaves the Zouave perk, just because it makes sense to do that. Montero rifles, let's give them iron discipline. They definitely need it out there on the flank right now. Okay, continue. Claiborne's brigade. And Patrick Claiborne was one of the best Confederate soldiers. They called him the Stonewall of the West, and with good reason. He was one of the best soldiers they had in the West, in a place where the Confederates didn't necessarily, at least at higher command levels, have the best generals. Claiborne must have mixed muskets. Yeah, they do, because you can see how much different the range is on Lewis Little with his Enfields. Deadly volley. Alright, let's get these guys across and crush this attack. I'm surprised Garfield hasn't gone melee combat on this battery. Montero rifles, man, doing well out here on the flank. They're just leaving blue bodies everywhere. A lot of these guys are facing their first combat. I don't know why my long-range order never went through. Man, he is coming at me with everything. He's going to try to overrun my right flank. Alright, Ruggles. We got to get him down here. Withers division. He's got 2 brigades. Walker, what's he got? He's got the artillery. Actually pulled him back here into this field. Alright, we just gotta hang on. Alright, Breckenridge, just hang on, buddy. First Montero rifles, 200 men they've lost. It's the flank issue that concerns me. Oh, who broke? French Zouaves broke. Yeah, I knew eventually somebody would break on that side. It was just a matter of time. Alright. Let's shift the Rock City guards over there. It was a pretty heavy attack that he just threw at my flank. Montero rifles, man. They're hanging on. See if we can rally these guys. Oh, he just slammed into the Montero rifles with a melee attack. I probably should have put the 2nd Corps on double quick just to get him down here faster. Rock City Guards, what are we waiting on, guys? Need you over there. Alright, we can speed things up a little bit. How are the numbers looking? Casualties are good. I mean, we had a unit break, but the casualties are good. We've taken out 10 of his 15 guns, so he's almost out of artillery. And the unit that broke Lawrence has just broken himself, so... Let's get Dance's cavalry out here. Alright, DHL, come up here. I'm going to come up here and use this fence. As we slam into him, we're going to get him surrounded. Now we're going to see this whole Union army break. Gladden's brigade, Chalmers brigade. Who else do we have here? Anderson's brigade. Here. I don't know. Man, 564 men lost Montero rifles, but they're hanging on. That's impressive. Did he take my battery? He took my guns over here, didn't he? Yep. Because he didn't have guns over there before. Okay. Rock City Guards. They're really into it now. They've got that deadly poly perk. He's over here. That's Bowen's brigade. They've lost a lot of men too. Iron discipline. Gibson's about to get his perk. Oh yeah, you're in trouble now, Yankees. You're in trouble now. Man, so is Bowen's brigade. They've got their work cut out for them. Did we finally throw off that flank attack? It looks like we did. Nice job, Montero rifles. They held on against Onslaught on the right. We gotta push DHL up a little bit. Who withdrew? Garfield withdrew. Right demoralized. Right routed. Alright, so 3,000 losses for me, 4,700 for him. But that's 23% of his force. But I tell you what, this is among the best fighting that I've seen by the Union. We did manage to get Lawrence to rally, so he's still here, the French Zouaves. Let's get him back up there. They're well rested, they're intact, and I think that's the end. Alright. I tell you what, that was a tough one. If I hadn't got those reinforcements when I did, I'm not so sure I would have won that battle. And while part of me thinks, oh man, you know, I want to win, I also like that it seems like the AI was competent there. He did what he had to do. I had reinforcements coming, so he attacked while he had an advantage in numbers, or at least was even in numbers before my reinforcements got there. So pretty good stuff. But I'm happy with the win. We'll drive Buell out of Nashville, and with that, we've pretty well secured Tennessee. All right, so let's see who got the battle honors from this one. And while we're doing that, even while I've been sitting here recording, I just got a message from Kevin Pratt, who is our latest supporter on Patreon. And Kevin, this is awesome, and I hope you don't mind that I'm reading your message, or at least parts of it, because I was really touched by this, and I thought this was pretty cool. Captain Hudson, so it looks like one of our artillery commanders. He just said, "Hey, you know, these videos have been a great distraction in a year that we can all use some healthy distractions." Amen to that, Kevin. Absolutely. And he also said that he wanted to support me because he knows this is a source of my main source of income right now, and he was laid off for a while, like I know a lot of you out there have been or are still. And Kevin, first of all, I see you got a job offer yesterday. That is awesome. I'm excited for you, and for all of you who are still out of work or looking for something with everything that's going on, your lives have been disrupted, or if you lost family members. We're thinking of all of you guys, and I hope this is a little bit of a distraction for all of you. And his grandfather served on the Tennessee at Pearl Harbor. That is an incredible legacy, and it gets better. He says he was a combat medic in Somalia during the Black Hawk Down incident. So, Kevin, thank you for your service. And I said the same thing to our other new supporter today, Alan Hand, who also served, and I mentioned him earlier. So, Kevin, hopefully you'll get me your request for a unit, and we will get that in here in the next episode, unless I get the request while I'm still recording here. So, glorious victory at Nashville. Army of the Ohio fleeing in panic. Captain Hudson becomes a national hero. Let's see. Does that move the stick at all with, yes, 40% now on British intervention. That is very helpful. So we're going to move in now. We're going to take Nashville. Looking now at the numbers here, you can see the Yankees have added. They're up over 500,000 men fielded now to my 395. Look at the Navy tonnage, 569,000 tons in the Navy. I can't possibly compete with that, and I'm not even going to try. I'm going to have to do this on land in order to make a difference. Let's look at our policies and just make sure there isn't something we can be doing that we're not already. I don't think there is. I don't really need to recruit more men right now, and I've got a little bit of manpower available to me. I've still got some units that haven't arrived in the field yet. DK's Cowboys, Lone Star Brigade in the Army of Mississippi. Let's see who we're waiting on. Army of the West has everybody. Army of Northern Virginia, we're still waiting on the 4th Alabama, the 6th Alabama, the Carolian Guard, and everybody else is there. Okay. So my offensive thoughts are mainly going to be centered in the West. I want to get Missouri and Kentucky to secede and come to the Confederate cause, while I just try to hang on in the East as best I can. Army of the West is in contact with the Army of the Southwest. This is an opportunity for me to make some noise because I've got him heavily outnumbered. The Army that the Union has out there is only about 11,000, and I've got twice that many. So it's going to be the Battle of Fayetteville, Arkansas. And this is our chance to drive him out of Arkansas and start making offensive operations into Missouri. I believe if we take St. Louis and we drive his army out of Missouri, we will get Missouri to secede. All right, we're going to be on the Pea Ridge battlefield for this one. Makes total sense. That's where we would be. So we're going to get Earl Van Dorn's Army of the West moved up as fast as we can into a decent position for battle. And I'm thinking right up around here if possible. And we'll just move straight forward with this entire battle line that we've got. We've got a pretty nice array of troops. We've got them 2-to-1, so that's why I don't mind advancing like this. Because wherever we do end up running into him, I can just fold the flanks around him because he's not going to have nearly enough men. All right, there he is. He's going to build his line right in around Elkhorn Tavern, try to take the high ground right there. And so we actually came in at a pretty good spot. It's going to be tough going, but we're going to swing our left flank around, and that includes a lot of our cavalry units, our mounted units. We've got the Missouri Bushwhackers under John Kelly. We've got Pike's Indian Brigade, McIntosh's Brigade, and Shelby's Iron Brigade over here. And they've got Sharps rifles, which are 500 yards of range, which is fantastic. And let's see who we got over here. Over on the right flank, The Fayetteville Light Infantry holding the line under Abner Perrin. Oregon Volunteers here. Greens Brigade. Missouri Black Guard. King's Own Regiment. And Slack's Brigade. Done that. These guys firing? Yeah, they're firing. Okay, so let's bring Randolph's division with all the mounted units up here. And then they're going to advance and try to turn his flank. In the meantime, we'll just keep an eye out on things, especially over here on our flank. McCullough's division, long range. Because that's what he's doing. He's staying just out of my current set range. There we go. Open up, boys. First combat for all of these units. Missouri Black Guard, that's the King's Own right there. It's cool because eventually, you learn what the units look like. Because of their uniforms, you can kind of tell who they are. Yeah, they took initiative to switch over to long range. Got the numbers, we just need to bring it to bear. So we're bringing all those mounted units around. We're going to get them dismounted and get them firing. Hey, Missouri Black Guard already upgraded. I like the idea of Iron Discipline for them. Volunteers doing pretty well so far. As are the Fayetteville Light Infantry, who have leveled up. Light Infantry, I like the idea of expert skirmishers for them. Seems to fit with who they are. The Green Brigade moved up. Should be an easy battle for me to win just because of the numbers, but I shouldn't take anything for granted. I realize that. See how the numbers look so far, casualty-wise. Oh, excellent, excellent. Of course, I have them better than 2 to 1, so that makes sense. He's got right here, he's got one small brigade of only now 890 men. They've lost half their men, and they're still standing and fighting while they were. And he had huge numbers firing on him, so I mean, it's no wonder he fell back. And that's why the casualties are as bad as they are, is that I just have, I have 5,000-6,000 men firing on 1,000. They haven't lost a man yet. Nobody's firing on them. Sharpshooters. Let's get some sharpshooters here. mount the Shelby Iron Brigade. Missouri Bushwhackers, we'll keep them mounted for now. I can't believe these guys have stood and fought as long as they have. Alright, let's press this. College Division, move up. Oh yeah, we're breaking him now. Alright, Shelby, here's your chance for glory. As well as the Missouri Bushwhackers. We're going to ride them in. After I get Shelby moved up to where he's able to fire, we're going to send the Missouri Bushwhackers riding in. They're actually firing from horseback right now. But I want to send them in to take out this battery. There you go, boys. Go Bushwhackers, we're going to send Pike's Indian Brigade in to do the same thing. Artillery. That's it. All right. That was a nice victory there. Very happy with that. Let's see how it turned out, and then I think we'll probably wrap it up right there. Colonel Walker becomes a national hero. So where's Colonel Walker? I want to see whose command he is. We got to go to the Army of the West. So Colonel Walker, that was the King's Own Regiment. They get the battle honors for this one, so well done to you. Although I got to say, some really nice performance by the Missouri Black Guard over there on the right. Everybody performed well in that last battle. So we're going to wrap it up right there. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you're enjoying this so far. I know I am. But don't think that just because I won those 2 battles in the West today that this is anything close to a sure thing. He's got 516,000 men in the field. It's just they're really massed in the East right now, so I'm kind of afraid he's going to make a major push on Richmond, and I'm not going to be able to stop him. This may be the time if Grant, let's see, if Grant's still going east, which it appears he is, I may need to do the same. I may need to start shifting some additional resources that way. I'm thinking maybe we shift Breckinridge with the 3rd Corps over here. And then we take the Army of Tennessee, because that's 20,000 men, and we'll start sending them east. Let's get them over to Richmond. Hopefully they can take by rail to do that. So we'll get some additional troops over there ourselves. It seems that the focus for the Confederate or for the Union is in the East, but that may open the door for me to be able to take Kentucky. And if I take Kentucky and it secedes, hopefully that gets us additional support there. We do still have the Army of the Mississippi. They've got 21,000 men. So if I send 1 corps, that still leaves me 2 corps here. I'll keep 1 corps to occupy the Army of the Ohio. The 1st Corps under Anderson has 20,000 men, so we'd be at least on even terms with him, which wouldn't be too bad. And then eventually, we might even be able to bring the Army of the West, which we're going to move up into Springfield, Missouri now. last thing I want to do before we wrap this episode up is I want to look at the strategy. It should tell me what I need to do in order to shift morale. Kentucky, here we go. Kentucky to secede, we need to capture Louisville and defeat all of the Union armies in Kentucky to make them secede. What about Missouri? Here we go. Capture St. Louis and defeat all the... Yeah, so take Louisville, take St. Louis, drive the Union armies out of those states, and they will secede. All right, we're going to wrap it up right there. Please drop a like if you would, and we will see you again real soon with another episode. Thanks for watching.